Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are here. We're live. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. If you can see and hear me clearly, please drop a one in the live chat, and then we can get today's stream started. And as I'm waiting for the ones to come in, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button because that is the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does is that it helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to give me a small boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, and in the video that I released earlier this afternoon, there was somebody who admitted that they were a ghost watcher. So not only just the new folks, but those ghost watchers out there, if you haven't already, stop ghost watching me and hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button, so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms as well, to inform your family and friends that I am currently live, and just to get this information to your family and friends as well. And that does also help give me a slight itty bitty extra boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And it all helps for channel growth. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's stream. Let's get into today's show. Now, the title of today's stream is I Just Want to Make Money. Truth exposed behind illegal immigration. Now, for the most part, off the title alone, I don't really expect many people to show up today because that sounds pretty basic, right? Yeah, we all know why everybody's coming here to the country. But the goal with tonight's show, just like it was, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, when I did the live stream on Chicago City Council meeting, where the legal immigrants were speaking out against the illegal immigrants who were being placed in their neighborhood. I believe it was Gage Park. And those illegal immigrants that were placed in their neighborhood were tearing up the neighborhood. The same way I felt that it was extremely important that it was put out there publicly that illegal immigrants have, that legal immigrants have just as much an issue with these false asylum seeker claimers as we do. That was extremely important because people needed to see, hear, and know that it's not just folks like you and me who can be easily written off as being xenophobic. No, legal immigrants have a problem with these fraudulent asylum seekers as well. I also want to now show you today, through video and through direct quotes, how these illegal immigrants who are participating in asylum fraud, out of their own mouth, they're telling you, I'm good. I'm not under any type of persecution in my country. I'm just here to make money. I just came to the United States to come up. I'm just looking for a wife. Yes, you're going to see that shortly. I'm looking to come up, make some money, and find me a woman here in America. That's what these folks are coming here for. And we're going to hear it from the horses' mouths themselves. And I think that, once again, it is extremely important that information, or I should say this information, is put out there. So what I want to do now is I want to start with an article that I spoke on, I believe it was Monday, if I remember correctly, right? You all remember this article here concerning the migrant caravan that was coming to El Paso. Thousands of migrants set to arrive in massive El Paso-bound caravan in just a few days. Now, in that past live stream from Monday, I believe it was, after reading the first paragraph, I was supposed to play a video that followed up behind that. And I want to just take a moment to read maybe the first 3 sentences of this article here, and then play the actual video that followed up behind what's being said in the first 3 or 4 sentences of this article. So let's get into that right now. I want to get into that first, because once again, I want you to hear from the horses' mouths themselves that they're fraudulent asylum seekers. They're just here to make money. They're just here to get women. That's it. That's it. And once again, you're going to hear from their mouth themselves. Now, this article reads, as it pertains to the first, we'll say paragraph, these sentences in total. A new 2,000 person migrant caravan is making its way north to the U.S. border, as we all knew that, and is expected to reach El Paso, Texas in just a few days, which I'm sure by now it has already come. Videos posted online show a swarm of people walking through the streets of southern Mexico on Monday. In one clip, an apparent leader could be seen encouraging the group through a bullhorn to chant, "A la Fonture." I know I'm saying that all wrong, but what it means in English is to the border. So essentially, it's a charging call, right? To the border we go. But they would also begin to chant, "We are not criminals. We are international workers." And as we all know, being an international worker, number one, there is no such thing as them being international workers, because that's not a justifiable claim for asylum. If you want to be an international worker, then you have to get an international workers visa. That's not what they're doing. But what you're going to see right now in this video that I'm going to play is literally thousands of soon-to-be illegal immigrants chanting, "We are international workers, not criminals." But once again, that's not a legitimate claim of asylum. So all these individuals are participating in asylum fraud. And I want to play that clip for you right now. Let's get into that. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit to get straight to the point of this clip so that we can move on. And I just want you to hear what he was saying in Spanish. There's no subtitles, but I just want you to hear yourself.
A ver, compañeros, nos activemos. ¡Los migrantes! ¡Los migrantes! ¡No somos criminales! ¡No somos criminales! ¡Somos trabajadores! ¡Somos trabajadores!
That's them saying right then and there that we're not criminals, we're international workers, as I just read earlier. I'm going to run that back one more time, then I'm going to let it play some more. And I really want you to hear what happens at the end, because I want to highlight what happens at the end of this video.
Somos criminales. No somos criminales. Somos trabajadores. Somos trabajadores. Internacionales. Internacionales. Manchadas de rojo. Manchadas de rojo. Están las fronteras. Están las fronteras. Porque ahí se mata. Porque ahí se mata.
Do these look like asylum seekers to you? This looks like a protest. It looks like it's just demands being made. We're on our way to America. Forward we come, and you're going to let us in because we're international workers, even though that's not a legitimate asylum seeker claim. Now, here's the part that I wanted to highlight. Let me play this for you right now. Let me run that back, because at the very end of this, he's asking for shout outs. He's saying, "Honduras, where you at?" And you hear people saying, "Oh," then you hear him saying, "El Salvador, where you at?" "Ah, Cuba, where you at?" "Ah." So, I mean, once again, I mean, are these guys at a concert? Are they protesting? This isn't asylum seeking. That's one thing for sure. Listen to this. I want you guys to listen to this. He just said, "Where's everybody from Honduras?" El Salvador. Cuba. You see, like, what's going on here? Once again, this isn't asylum seeking. I'm going to play it one more time, this last 20 seconds, and then we're going to move on. We're going to move on afterwards, because I want to get to the heart of this video concerning, you know, these so-called asylum seekers that look more like tourists than asylum seekers, who are literally coming here just to make money and get women, you know, passport bros, you know, but just the other way around. They're coming to the U.S. instead of us going over there. So anyways, that's that. I just wanted to make sure to play this because I forgot to do it on Monday. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to the meat of the, you know, reverse passport bros, right? And these passport bros are actually coming from India. Yes, they're coming from India. And you see here in this article, I believe it is from the Washington Post, if I'm not mistaken. All the links, yeah, from the Washington Post, all the links to these articles should be in the description box below. So you can read them for yourselves. And if they're not, I'll make sure to check. Obviously, after the stream, I will leave them for you to click and read them for yourselves. But this article concerning the third largest group of illegal immigrants coming across the border is very telling, because it literally just exposes everything as it pertains to this fraudulent asylum seeking that's happening in the country. The title reads, "Even more undocumented migrants follow, even more undocumented Indian migrants follow." Here we go. Take 3. Ever more undocumented Indian migrants follow donkey route to America. They're following the donkey route to America. Now, before we break down the donkey route to America, I just want to make sure to give my thank yous to those who are contributing to today's stream. Shout out to DSB for becoming a new member and for re-ing up on your channel membership. I appreciate you. Shout out to Blacklight Revelations for 29 months of service. He said this channel needs more members. Join now. Flame emojis. I appreciate you, Blacklight. Shout out to DSB for 14 months of service. Keep up the amazing work, family. Thank you, DSB, and DSB a double down with the super sticker. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate all the support that I get here on this channel. I do not exist without your support. Please hit the like button as we get into now the Indian passport bros. And no, I'm not being facetious when I say this. I'm being very literal when I say this. Let's jump into this article right now. Billboards crowd the small lanes of this northern Indian city, calling out to those who dream of a different future. A sign in the Punjabi language beacons, "Let's go to America." That's the city that you see here, and I'm going to blow it up a little bit. The city name is, I know I'm going to butcher it, Jalandhar, India. So in Jalandhar, India, there are huge billboards going across the city promoting "Let's go to America." Let's go to America. An immigration agent driving on an overpass amid the sea of billboards reflected on the city's brisk migration business. Most of these agents would have tried sending clients through an illegal route to the US, said the Punjabi agent, adding that he himself sent 60 such clients on long routes that hopscotch through various countries before arriving in Mexico or Canada, where the migrants walk across the US border. Now, what's important for me to note here is that they're admitting they're going through various countries, multiple countries, before they even get to America. Meaning, if they were true asylum seekers, they would have sought asylum in one of those countries first if they were actually fleeing for their lives. But they're not. They're passport bros looking for money and women. Indians have come to make up the third largest group of undocumented immigrants in the United States, according to the Pew Research Center's 2021 estimates, which put the number of such Indians at 725,000. India is the only country in the top 5 outside of Latin America, and since 2011, the number of undocumented Indians in the United States has grown by 70%, the fastest growth of all nationalities. Figures from U.S. Customs and Border Protection show that the number of undocumented Indian immigrants increased the fastest between 2020 and 2023. And I think we all know why that is. Thank you very much, Joe Biden. Now let's carry on, because here's the good stuff. The immigrants are often from middle class families. They frequently sell their land to pay for the journey, which families say can run from between $40,000 to $100,000 per person, hoping that working in America will triple their wages, produce a secure future for their children, and yield a higher value in the marriage market for their sons. They're literally looking for money and women. The Indian population, as it reads here on this Washington Post article, which we all know the Washington Post is part of the Democratic Party news network, right? This is a DNC publication. They're openly admitting to you that they're literally coming here, these middle-class men, wealthy men, if you ask me, 40,000, having 40,000 to $100,000 cash in your pocket once you cross over. I guess wealthy is a stretch. That isn't wealthy, but you know what I mean. You're far from impoverished. You're far from impoverished. And as it states here, they're looking to come here with that money between $40,000 to $100,000 and triple their wealth on top of getting women. As that last sentence reads, and I'm going to read it again, hoping that working in America will triple their wages, produce a secure future for their children, and yield a higher value in the marriage market for their sons. These guys are literally passport bros, false flagging asylum seekers. And I want you to take a look at them as well before we move on. These guys look more like tourists than asylum seekers. Look at how well dressed they are. Turban looking clean, sweaters looking clean, got the leather bags. What is that? That a Chanel bag of some sort, a Chanel satchel or something like that? Do I see Gucci print on here? Are we seeing Gucci print? Okay, maybe I don't see Gucci print. But these guys are looking clean. Look at my man in the back, nice and healthy. Look at him. He's just as healthy as he want to be. You know you nice, healthy, and well-fed when you got a stomach like that, dressed as clean as you are. Because these guys, on average, are coming here, crossing the border with anywhere between $40,000 to $100,000 in cash. They're coming here with anywhere between $40,000 to $100,000 to put down on once they get here in an effort to triple their wealth and get women. These people are not asylum seekers at all whatsoever. And it's clear as day. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. These migrants, and once again, this is coming from the Washington Post, a DNC publication. These migrants are not the desperately poor and often come from the most prosperous states in India, said Devish Kapoor, I think, a South Asian studies professor at Johns Hopkins University, who is focused on the Indian diaspora. But faced with a shortage of attractive jobs and a struggling agriculture sector, they find that the wealth they have in India, I want to read that again. They find that the wealth that they do have in India, up to $100,000 worth of liquid wealth in India. I lost myself. But faced with a shortage of attractive jobs and a struggling agriculture sector, they find that the wealth they have in India is not enough to transform their lives. Mind you, they're already living good. They're already living well. But what they want is to live like kings. They want to live like kings with American women. That's why they came here, as it states here. It is not enough to transform their lives. And this creates a culture of migration, he said. This creates a culture of migration. And that's what we see going on here, a culture of migration. And I want to get to one more very important part. I know I have a few things highlighted here, but there is one part in particular that I want to focus on. There's one part in particular. Let me keep scrolling just a moment. I want to bypass this because we don't need to beat a dead horse. I believe this is what I'm looking for here. Yes, I am. Now, listen to this. These days, speed is of the essence. Former President Donald Trump's harsh rhetoric about immigration and promises to crack down on it have been noticed by some Indians. And I quote, "People are now saying to get out quickly before Trump comes back." I repeat, people are now saying get out quickly. Get out of India as fast as you can before Trump comes back, said the Punjabi agent who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss illegal activities. Need I say more? I really could just end the stream here, but I'm not, because I have one more article that I want to get into. Because at this point now, I'm pretty much touching, all of the globe. We started off with Latin America. We've now moved over here to India, aka Passport Bros. And now we're going to shift over to Chinese nationals. We're going to shift over to the Chinese nationals. But before we do that, there are 357 of you in the stream right now. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. That is extremely important. And thank you very much. Shout out to DSB for gifting a channel membership. I appreciate you for doing that, brother. Thank you very much, DSB, for sharing the love on this channel. Thank you very much, Elevated Engineer 88. Keep up the good work, TD. I definitely will, and I appreciate your support. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9 for 3 months of service. I appreciate you. Lloyd Sky 9 says showing love. Keep it going, TD. And Lloyd Sky 9 doubled down, saying this is crazy. These guys are coming with business capital. Okay, let's read that again. These guys are coming with business capital, and we can't even get a good interest loan with good credit. The set-asides and leeway they get via business funding and new credit is criminal. I agree with you, Lloyd Sky 9. I agree with you. And thank you very much for your contribution to today's show. Shout out to DSB again. Is that DSB again who gifted somebody? DSB is just spreading the love with everybody. I appreciate you, DSB, for spreading the love on this channel and gifting out memberships. Thank you very much, DSB. And shout out to Nelson, number 9. We appreciate. Thank you, Nelson. Oh, we appreciate you, sir. Okay, that's what it says. We appreciate you, sir. I got it. I figured it out. There we go. Thank you, Nelson. I appreciate the support. Now let's get back into the stream. Let's get back into the show. And let's now speak on the Chinese nationals that are coming into the country. I want to speak on this too. I want to speak on them too, because once again, we're hitting multiple points in the globe where we're all seeing the same reasoning behind coming here. Everyone's just looking for a come up. They're just looking for some money, and they're just looking for some women. As stated in the Washington Post article, a DNC publication, right? Now let's carry on. Let's carry on. This article reads here, Chinese migrants make multiple country trek to U.S. southern border. I just want to make money. It says it right there. I just want to make money. I'm just trying to come up. I'm just looking for a little cheese, a little bit of cash. That's it. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm looking for. Now let's dive into this article. Let's get it. And it reads as such. Chinese nationals are streaming into the U.S. through the pores, through the porous southern border in record numbers, traveling thousands of miles and through numerous countries to reach America's doorstep. Once again, you're seeing the same narrative of everyone traveling through numerous countries before they get here. Other countries that they could have sought asylum in, but they're not actually seeking asylum. They're asylum frauds. That's what they are, because they're bypassing other countries they could have sought asylum in. So when we're calling them asylum frauds, that's not being disparaging. They're admitting to you themselves in multiple articles out of their own mouth. They're passing up places that they could seek asylum at to come here for money and women. And the process exposing a migrant crisis of global proportion. And in the process, exposing a migration crisis of global proportions. There have been more than 22,000 encounters of Chinese nationals at the southern border since October 1st, a massive increase from 2,176 encounters in federal fiscal year 2022, and the 450 encounters in the fiscal year of 2021. So fiscal year 2021, 450. Fiscal year of 2022, 2,176. And now we're at 22,000. A 36-year-old man from northern China who had traveled to Mexico with his wife and twin sons on their way to the U.S. told Fox News that he picked up tips about the arduous journey from Chinese social media apps. The man estimated the trip had already cost him nearly $17,000, with the family using a mix of cash, bank cards, and app-based payments. Do these sound like poor people to you? So they just got $17,000 to travel with. They dropped $17,000 on coming here. This doesn't sound like the poor and struggling of China that's coming over here. Not when you have $17,000 to blow. That's not what that sounds like to me. Now, here's a direct quote from the man concerning whether or not Trump is in office, what it means to him. We all know for Indians, those who are from India, not Native Americans, as it stated in the Washington Post article, get here quick before Trump gets in office. They're breaking their neck in India to get here before Trump gets into office. But this man that they're speaking of in this article, who gives a direct quote here, states, no matter whether it is Trump or Biden, we just want to come to the United States, the man said. I am not worried about my legal identity problem, because as long as we arrive in the United States, there will always be a way to solve the identity problem. Translation, as long as when we get here, we go to Chicago or New York, we good, baby. We good. As long as when we get here, we go to Chicago or New York. And let me stop picking on Chicago and New York, but to any of these sanctuary cities, Chicago, New York, Denver, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., so on and so forth. As long as we go to one of these sanctuary cities, we're good. They already have enough money, liquid, to go right into the mainstream of society. If you notice, whenever you see foolishness happening at migrant shelters and you hear about foolishness at migrant shelters and you see videos of it, they're never the Indian folks or Chinese nationals. They're never Indian nationals or Chinese nationals. Because as we're seeing here, these guys are coming here with thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, some hundreds of thousands of dollars in liquid cash. They're coming here with that. Now, I know probably most likely technically they don't have cash on them. They're not crossing because I would assume that at least their baggage is being checked when they cross the border and they get apprehended by Border Patrol. I would like to assume that they open up their bags and so I would assume that that's the case. I wouldn't be surprised if their baggage wasn't getting checked, but I would assume that's the case. And if you get caught at the border with like $100,000 in cash, as we see the Indian population seem to be traveling with, I would assume that would be grounds for immediate disqualification to even enter the country. I would like to believe that. But then again, I don't know. This is the Biden administration where anything goes. So maybe they are coming with cash. But the point is, and I don't want to belabor the point too much, these guys are coming here with liquid wealth, right? Whether it's cash or not, there's multiple ways to transfer money. They probably put the money in Bitcoin and then come over here and then they cash out the Bitcoin once they get here. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways to move money around without traveling with cash. The point is that this Chinese national that's speaking here is openly stating, I'm not worried about whether or not I'm an illegal immigrant, illegal alien, the identity problem. You can call me whatever you want to call me. All we need to do is get to America and get to one of these sanctuary cities, and I'm good. And that's what they're telling you here. Let's carry on. Another migrant Fox spoke to was in his late 30s and had worked in the poultry business, inspired by others who had moved to the US. He also flew to Ecuador via Thailand and then trekked to Mexico after being deported. He said he believes Mexican authorities are targeting the Chinese. He also didn't express concern or interest in the US political situation. So you're seeing a pattern with Chinese nationals where whether it's Trump or Biden, they could care less either way. Once we get to America, we good. Where for Indian nationals, it's the opposite. They're really trying to get here before Trump gets into office. The man would also go on to say, I don't care. I just want to make money. And the United States is the country to go to, he said. Once again, as it pertains to who's in power when he gets here, he can care less. And I quote, I don't care. I just want to make money. And the United States is the country to go to, he said. And you can definitely make money when you get here, especially when you're coming here with, liquid capital on hand, as these Chinese nationals are, as well as the Indian nationals as well. These guys are coming here with anywhere between $40,000 and $100,000 on hand. And when they get here, they're looking to triple their wealth and get women, as it states in the Washington Post article. And with all that being said, that does it for today's stream. I rest my case and I've proven my point. So please hit the like button on your way out. Share this video on your social media platforms and subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. That is extremely important. Stop ghost watching. Why are you ghost watching? Just hit the subscribe button. All right, hit that subscribe button. And on the way out, I want to thank those who have continued to contribute to today's stream before I leave. Because once again, it doesn't go unappreciated. I appreciate all the support that I get here on this channel. So I want to make sure to give you guys your thank yous. I believe that I shot you out already, Lord Sky 9. Lord Sky 9 said, showing love, keep it going, TD. I appreciate you, Lord Sky 9. Oh, yeah, I got you already. I got you. I remember this here. I got you already. Did I get you? This is crazy. These guys are coming here with it. I got you already. Thank you, Lord Sky 9. I appreciate you, bro. DSB again. DSB is just giving love out to everybody. This brother's just handing out channel memberships like crazy. I appreciate you for that third channel membership gift that you have handed out, DSB. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Nelson. Oh, I got you guys already. I got everybody already. Because Nelson, I got that already, and Nelson has become a channel member. Thank you, Nelson. I appreciate you for becoming a channel member, and I thank you all for tuning into today's stream. I should be back tomorrow evening. So once again, stop ghost watching, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button. So when I go live, you get your notification tomorrow evening at the same time at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you all know I'm thirsty for likes. So please hit the like button on your way out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. Peace and have a great evening and a safe one.